Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A couple of things that we want to discuss today. Number one, what happens to those people who are not buried in a proper grave? Are any questions asked of them by the angels, or do they skip the Q&A by the angels? Sometimes we are mistaken by the fact that if the person is not buried in the ground, in a proper grave, or if the person is burned, like Hindus burn their deceased, or if the burial takes place in any other ways than being properly buried in the ground, we think that the Q&A will not take place because the body is not there. That's a total misconception. The question and answer of Munkar and Nakir that takes place between the angels and the deceased is not bound by the grave. It takes place anyway, because these questions and answers are between the angels and the soul. And the soul of an individual doesn't die. It is the body that is disposed of differently. Very similarly, like some people die in waters. Some people die through explosion. Some people die in other circumstances. So that doesn't mean that they skip the Q&A of angels. So the question and answer sessions does happen in all cases between the deceased and the angels. So if you have this misconception, just please take this out of your head, because burial is a way of giving honor to the body. And this gives an opportunity to the people who are left behind to get an idea that, one day everybody has to pass away. Second of all, it just gives you an opportunity to pray for the deceased and to visit them periodically. Some people go and visit their dear ones on daily basis, some monthly basis, some weekly basis, some yearly basis, some whenever they can. So it's just a way for you to visit their home. But it's possible that the body doesn't get a home, but doesn't mean that the soul is not connected to the body anymore. Soul is connected to the body in whatever capacity body exists. But in the world of barzakh, these question and answer is taking place between the soul and the angels, and the soul is getting punished or the soul is getting reward. Now comes the question, okay, what about those believers, those Muslims who are sinners? So what happened to those? Are they in punishment forever? Or eventually they are let go? Now, it's possible that because of the du'as of the people left behind, or because of the good deeds for which you get continuous reward, which is called as-sadqatu jariyah, those kind of things, or by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically, the punishment of the grave can very well be lifted off from certain individuals. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is extremely merciful. So the punishment in the grave, as comes in Quran, also in the books of Hadith. We will address that in a separate video, because that question is also coming in. Okay, where in the Quran Allah talks about the grave punishment? Unfortunately, we have people who, when we give them evidences from the Hadith book, they say, oh, okay, give us the evidences from the Quran. It's not like we do not believe in Hadith. It's like we want evidences from Quran as well. On the contrary, there are some deviants basically, who totally disregard Hadith. And they say, oh, this is the work of man. Unfortunately, we have some of those people, and they are deviants. They are not on the right path, because Quran and Hadith together, they are part of the religion. So you cannot just completely just say, I only believe in the Quran, and totally just say, I don't believe in Hadith. These are the deviants. So just keep that in mind. So we'll talk about where the adhab of the grave or the Qabr comes in the Quran. What ayahs, not just one, there are many ayahs in the Quran that talks about that. Similarly, the blessings after a person passes away, the blessings of the barzakh that are also mentioned in Quran. And then also that raises another question that we want to address maybe in a different video, is that, okay, if we are getting punished after the Day of Judgment as people get entered in Jahannam, then what's the point of getting a punishment in the grave. Because the Hashr has not yet happened, the Qiyamah has not happened, we have not been in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer for our deeds, so why are we getting punished before we are judged? So that's another question. We will address that in a different video, because the reason I'm putting them in different videos is because when you're doing a search, or people after will do a search, they will be able to get to the answer. So in Sharh al-Aqa'id al-Nasafiyya, it mentions the Adab al-Qabr for lil-Kafirin, and also for those people who are the sinners. And then also in a book, Al-Mizan al-Kubra, volume 1, page number 9, in the Muqaddimat al-Kitab, and the preface of the book, it says, جميع الأئمة المجتهدين يشفعون في إتباعهم ويلاحظونهم في شدائدهم في الدنيا والبرزخ ويوم القيامة حتى يجاوزوا الصراط. So the Aimma, the awliya, will also be another reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will uplift your punishment in the grave, in the barzakh, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves His awliya. And then also in the same Al-Mizan al-Kubra, volume 1, page 53, it also talks about some other details in this process. قد ذكرنا في كتاب الأجوبة عن أئمة الفقهاء الصوفية كلهم يشفعون في مقلديهم ويلاحظون أحدهم عند طلوع روحه وعند سؤال منكر النكير له عند النشر والحشر والحساب والميزان والصراط ولا يغفرون عنهم موقف من المواقف. So that's another evidence from Al-Mizan al-Kubra about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the awliya as-salihin, and you are following them, because that's basically Quran tells us اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. So the path of those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings are on those people. So we want Allah to put us on that path, which is the path of those that Allah is happy and pleased with. So because we have been following those people, and that mercy, the mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us in the grave as well. And it also has been mentioned that on a believer, a Muslim, who is a sinner and is getting grave punishment, the grave punishment will temporarily be lifted on the night of Friday and the day of the Friday. And the night of Friday is the night between Thursday and Friday. And the Friday day is basically the day of the Friday. So, and this comes in Manh al-Rawd al-Adhar, in Sharh Fiqh al-Akbar, page number 102, that قال القونوي إن المؤمن إن كان مطيعا لا يكون له عذاب القبر ويكون له ضغطة فيجد حول ذلك وخوفه. وقال القونوي إن كان عاصيا يكون له عذاب القبر وضغطه القبر لكن ينقطع عنه عذاب القبر. But however, the عذاب القبر is stopped temporarily يوم الجمعة وليلة الجمعة. And then also in حاشية الطحاوية على page number 500. And also there is a hadith reported by Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. This is in Al-Musnad, hadith 7070. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من مات يوم الجمعة أو ليلة الجمعة, and anybody who dies on the day of Jum'ah or the night of Jum'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save him from the fitnatil qabr. وعن عبد الله ibn عمر رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, reported by Imam al-Tirmidhi and As-Sunan, ما من مسلم يموت يوم الجمعة أو ليلة الجمعة, any Muslim who dies on the night of the Jum'ah or the day of the Jum'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will temporarily release him from fitnatil qabr. So of course, if it's a sinner, then of course will get its due punishment, but temporarily on these nights, and on this day and this night, it will be withheld. And inshallah, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will eventually forgive him and will release him of this. And also, when the believer successfully answers the questions in the grave, the believer is first shown a place in Jahannam. If these answers would have been given incorrectly, that this would be the place in Jahannam where this person will end up. So the angels will tell this individual that if you would not have given the answers correctly, this would be your place in Jahannam. Since you answered them correctly, now a window will be opened into a Jannah, or a portal will open into the Jannah, where the person will see his place in Jannah. That's on the Day of Judgment, when these people will be given a good tiding that you will now be entering Jannah, then they will just simply know their place, because they've been seeing it from Barzakh. Now comes the question, okay, if a person already knows that they are going in Jannah, then what's the point of Yawm al-Hashr? And why people will be so upset, and or people will be so worried on the Day of Judgment when they already have seen their place in the Jannah? Now, the answer to that question is that yes, I have seen my place in Jannah, but, or an individual has seen his place in Jannah, but doesn't know if the person is going there right away or is going there after serving some time in Jahannam. Now, person doesn't know that. Also, the person doesn't know that, okay, yes, I've seen my place in Jannah. However, I may be stopped because I didn't do too well in the huquq al-ibad. Because not all the sins a person is getting punished in the grave. There are many sins that the person doesn't know about yet, especially in the matters of huquq al-ibad, the rights of others on you. So that's why people have not yet fully seen their book of deeds. And that's what's worrying them, is maybe there is something that I'm unaware of that will now come forward, and that will be difficult for me. So that's why the hadith that is reported by Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أفتح له بابا إلى النار. So a door into the hell will be open for an individual. فيفتح له باب إلى النار فيقال هذا كان منزلك لو عصيت الله عز وجل. If you would have been a denier, if you were a disbeliever, if you would not have answered the questions correctly, this would be your place in hell. But since you have answered these questions correctly, أفتح له بابا إلى الجنة فيفتح له. A door into the heaven will be open for this person. يقال, and then the angels will tell, هذا منزلك ما. This is your destination that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised you. And for the kafir, وَأَمَّا الْكَافِرُ, he will first be shown the portal into the Jannah. أفتح له بابا إلى الجنة فيفتح له بابا إلى الجنة فيقال له هذا كان منزلك. This would be your destination if you would have been an obedient servant of Allah, if you would have been a believer. But since you were not a believer, ثم يقال له افتح له بابا إلى النار فيفتح له بابا إليها. So then it will be told to the angels to open a portal into the Jahannam for this disbeliever. فيقال له هذا منزلك. This is your manzil. This is your manzil. This is where you will eventually end up. And this is the promise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made to those who will be the disbelievers. So reported in Al-Mu'jam Al-Awsat, Hadith 2630, comes in volume number 2, page number 92, and also reported in Sharh Al-Sudur, page number 133. And again, we will continue talking more about Barzakh, as some of you would have requested that please do not go into long lecture. Now, I was giving short lectures before. People were like give us a little bit longer lectures. Now I'm going a little bit on the longer range. People aren't asking me to go in a shorter range. So I'm trying to find a medium. This is so difficult, you know. When I go longer, people say shorter. When I go shorter, people say longer. So you know, it just confuses the person who's trying to present details to you when constantly people are changing their opinion about the length. You tell me again if this length is okay, or you want shorter or longer. And based on the majority's viewpoint, we will then decide what length to keep. Assalamu alaikum.